What is up, y'all? What is up? Welcome back to another new video. How are y'all doing? It is Wednesday. I hope y'all are having a good week. Hope everything's going good for you guys. I know it has been a good minute since I've posted anything. I know it's been a couple weeks. I'm still around. I'm still here. Just got a lot of things going on. A lot of personal things. Some with something to do with the truck. Some are some just much personal stuff and whatnot. I just basically, if it's redundant and not important, I haven't worried about it. So unfortunately, YouTube has been one of those things. So it's got a lot of like I said, a lot going on. I'm fixing to be moving. I've had a lot of things I've been having to finish up and whatnot. But we'll get into all that in a minute. So like I said, I hope y'all are doing well. I'm sitting here in the truck waiting for USA to call me back. So first off, so where should I start on this video? Because I know it's been a minute. I don't even remember what the last thing I posted was about. So pretty much I got home last Monday. Not like Monday as in 2 days ago. I mean, but like I've been home for like 9 days, 8 or 9 days, something like that. Got home last Monday, last week. Was gonna stay out till Wednesday, but I had some few things that came up that I needed to get home for, so I just went ahead and headed home, and was gonna head back out on Monday, so like 2 days ago, Monday. Well, let's see. Went to head out. So Sunday, my dad calls me and says, "Hey, you've got something beeping inside your truck." So I leave my truck parked here at my parents' house. I live about 45 minutes away. He says, "Hey, you got something beeping inside your truck, and your lights look kind of dim, and I can't find your keys to try to start it for you." And basically, I was like, "Oh shit, I have both sets of keys. I usually leave a set in the truck, but I forgot." So I end up having to drive out here, and sure enough, I get here, my batteries are dead. So we hook up the C10 to it. The C10's finally done. I'll get into that in a minute. Not finally done, but it's running. I'll get into that in a minute though. So we hook up the C10 to it. I let it charge the batteries for a little bit, and truck starts up. It took me about an hour to let it charge. So then my girlfriend calls me. She's not been feeling too well, and she says, "Hey, I think I'm gonna need to go to the ER. I'm not feeling good at all." And she's been having problems with her side. So I ended up just driving the truck back home. And get home. They gave me plenty of time to let the truck charge and whatnot, and ended up taking her to the ER. She had something wrong with her. It's something with her liver is not right. Her levels or something are really high in her liver, and it's swollen. So something's going on there. So I ended up canceling my loads for Monday. Just gonna be leaving out Monday. Canceled those loads, and I'm like, screw it. I will go ahead and I'll head out Wednesday. So Tuesday comes along, and so last night, it's Wednesday now. So last night I come out to the truck. I'm like, all right, I'll start it up, let it run for a minute, check all the fluids, look over the truck, put my stuff in there, make sure everything's good, right? Well, start the truck, and there's a code on the dash. It says SCR system altered or fault detected. Seek service immediately. Engine derate in 60 minutes. I'm like, well, fuck. And by the way, I drove the truck back from my house back to my parents' house on Monday. So, and it didn't have any problems, but I did notice how while I was driving it, even though I wouldn't be giving it any gas, you could hear the turbo start spooling up. Like you could hear that turbo whistle. And you could hear it like start to rev up and whistle and whatnot, even though I wasn't doing anything, and my RPMs would go up a little bit, even though I wasn't giving it any gas, for it to do, or throttle for it to do that. So I call USA, called the roadside because I knew Charlie was out of the office, and they said, yeah, you're gonna have to bring it to a dealership. They tell me you got either Kenworth, MHC Kenworth in Nashville, or MHC Kenworth in Bowling Green. They said, but we'd recommend going to Nashville because they're a 24-hour shop. So they said, but call us in the morning and we'll get everything worked out with you and Charlie and over at B&G, and we'll see about getting you there. So he said, do you think you can drive the truck? I said, I don't know. It says it's going to derate in about 45 minutes at this point. No. Yeah, it says it's going to derate in about 45 minutes. So I'm like, I might be able to make it there, but I don't know. If it derates completely, I can't make it. Which I guess either way is better than having it towed all the way from Westmoreland to Nashville. So I can make it 3/4 of the way there. So I'm waiting for USA to call me back. We're gonna figure out when they want me to bring it there. I did just see I got a text from Charlie saying that I got approval for it. Everything's good to go. So I guess we'll see. But did some research on it, talked to some people. They're saying that it can get expensive. It's part of the basically it's the selective catalyst reducer or reduction system or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it stood for, but basically it's your DPF filter, part of it. In that big canister, it's part of that. So but it could be a sensor, it could be a bad injector nozzle or something. There's a lot of different components. That's why I hate these newer trucks with all this bullshit. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting to see, just chilling out. So that's how that's going. Also, last Monday when I got home, I had to change my airlines going from my tractor to my trailer, so my service and emergency. Because I think it was the emergency, or it might have been the service. One of those had a break in the line and it was starting to leak, so I had to replace those. I didn't want to replace it with the curled line, so I had to go on a goose chase for a set of straight lines, which I could only buy in a 3-pack that came with the electrical. So I paid like $190 for all that and got that put on the truck. So yeah, so there's part of that. That's been going on with the truck. So that's a little aggravating, but it is what it is. Good news, the C10, I've kind of been updating y'all on that, talking about it. The C10 is running and driving the motor. I finished rebuilding the motor, for those who don't know. Had a 305, 86 C10, had a 305 and a 700 R4. So last year the carbureted motor, and basically the 305 was going out, it was smoking. I thought it was going to be valve seals. Turns out I had a bad piston ring, and broke a piece off the piston as well, without doing any damage to the cylinder walls somehow. I don't know. Basically, someone gave me another motor and I rebuilt it. It was a 350 TBI motor out of a 95. Rebuilt it and made it carbureted. Got it all done, painted up nice and pretty, put it in the truck, and the truck we actually just dropped off at the exhaust shop. I was planning on doing that this morning anyways, so I got that done. That's good news. Finally, that's one less thing I have to stress about. That's one thing I've been stressing, is because by the time I get home next time, especially now that I'm heading out even later, depending on when I do get to finally head out, I was only going to have like 2 weeks until we had to move. So by the time I got home, I was going to have to move everything and whatnot. So I had to get this truck done. Basically had to work on it the entire time I've been home to get the motor finished up and to get it back in the truck and this, that, and the third. So it's been kind of stressful as far as that goes. Because I didn't want to have to tow it and tow the S10, because the S10 isn't road ready yet. And plus, figure out a way to move all my shit. So I got that done. It's a lot of, like I said, a lot of things going on that's just had me stressed out and a lot of shit. So real quick, let me add this in there about the whole truck situation. This is figure A on why you guys you get out here and you're making all this money driving one of these trucks, and especially if you're leased onto a company, you got your own truck or whatever, you're leasing a truck, whatever you're doing to make this really good money, save your money, put it in savings. Even if you have a maintenance account with a company, make your own maintenance account, put money into it, put money into savings. Use it as an opportunity. If you have any debt, try to get rid of it. Because I'm good. Like every bill that I can have paid a month ahead is a month ahead, already. And I've got a good old chunk in savings. So if the truck's down for a couple weeks, I'm fine. But it's still a little stressful. And if I didn't do that, I would be screwed. If the truck's down for too long, for some reason it's got to be down for a couple months, I could be screwed. But I'm good. Money's in savings, bills are all ahead, everything's good as far as that goes. But that's figure A, why you need to save money doing this, and do that if you can pay ahead on your bills or do whatever. So that's important. But one thing I haven't done is I haven't paid off any real debts that I got. I've got a few things. I've got some overdue hospital bills and doctor's bills and things like that. A couple things like that. Small loan I had when I was like 18 or whatever. It's all on my credit. So my credit sucks. It really does. And I've been good everywhere else as far as paying things and doing what I need to do, but I haven't ever worried about that. Oh, excuse me, I got hiccups. Worried about that important stuff. So do that. Worry about that stuff and get that shit paid off. Even if you just pay it off a little by little, it's gonna make a difference. So and I haven't been putting as much into my truck maintenance as I've been wanting to. So those are two things that are going to get taken care of once I get back on the road and get this truck going again. It is running. Someone suggested I let it run for a minute. So plus I had to air up everything. I do have a slow air leak I have to have fixed as well when it's at the shop. So like I said, so take care of your priorities, make sure everything's straight, and don't be blowing this money just because you have it. If I didn't do all that stuff right now, I'd be hurting. If I didn't, pay ahead on my bills and put money in savings and whatnot, I'd be hurting right now. So make sure y'all do that. So that's about it. But I want to tell y'all a quick story. Maybe y'all find cool. Something that happened to me a few weeks ago. So when I was coming back from Houston, Texas, before I went on home time, I was heading to Russellville, Kentucky, and I stopped at a truck stop. And I'm not going to say what truck stop I stopped at, and I'm not going to give the girl's name. Just out of I don't, just because, right? So I stopped at this truck stop. I will say it's in Tennessee. I ain't going to say where though. And I stopped at this truck stop and I go in and get something to eat, right? The truck stop I've stopped at multiple times. And long story short, my waitress ended up being this girl that I went to junior high with. Like, I had not seen her since 8th grade. Since, like, right before the start of this new school year. So, like, 10 years ago now. I had not seen her since then. And she was my waitress. I knew it because of her name. Her name was very unique. Not a lot of people with this name. And I recognized her. She looked a little different, of course. We'd aged 10 years or so since then, and we'd hit puberty. But I noticed her name, told her who I was. She freaked the hell out, gave me a big hug, and we sat there and we talked for a little bit. Kind of caught up. She's married, got kids, and I'm not married and got vehicles. Funny how that works, huh? So, cool story. She was my waitress, and I gave her a really good tip, just to be cool, because, it was a cool thing that happened. It was awesome how that kind of worked out, So, so we've kind of like somewhat reconnected. I've got her number. We text a little bit every once in a while. But yeah, something cool like that happened. The odds of meeting somebody, she was like one of my best friends in junior high, so, and I hadn't seen her since then or heard from her. So yeah, that happened. That was a good thing. Like I said, that C10's done. So yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video out. It's about 15 minutes long. I thought I'd give y'all a little update. I'll try to get back to y'all. Some of y'all left comments and whatnot, asked a few questions. When I get a chance, I'll try to get back to that. I don't even know when I'll post this video, so we'll see what happens. So I hope y'all have a good day. If y'all would like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you got any questions, and I'll try to get back to it when I can. So appreciate y'all watching, and y'all have a good day. Peace out, y'all.